Hello everyone, welcome to Pep and Prep Talks. Your host Bilwa is back with third episode for cracking the software interview series. Today on this episode we have Garvit Bhateja, another amazing friend of mine who has done his BTech in Electronics and Communication Engineering with specialization in IoT and sensors. He is very passionate about technology and development. So, for people from non CS background thinking of applying for software roles or testing roles, this episode is for you. Hi Garvit, welcome to Pep and Prep Talks. Really excited to what you have to say regarding your experience with the placement process.
Hi Bilwa, very excited to be here.
Okay, so let's start with the questions.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so what were your emotions like during the placement process, like until you got placed?
Emotions. That's a very, you know, a topic which all the final year students or pre-final year students face whenever we are in college. We have that, fear or excitement, or it depends on different person. So basically, what I had was a little bit of fear and a little bit of excitement, but we
Yeah.
weren't in the college. It was all virtual for us, work from like on the meets and on the virtual calls. So when I was in third year, I saw all the seniors. They used to dress up, go for the placements, and they would usually come up happy or sad depending on how the interview was, and then their roommates would cheer them up or something like that, or they would go for a party outside. For
Yeah.
us, yeah, for us, it has been kind of if it is good for us, then we can just tell our friends in the group or something. And if it's bad, we can do the same. There is like no one literally to support us there. You're
Yeah, it was kind of unexpected, basically, like the online process, especially for me. Like, I was expecting that we'll be together and all of us will cheer each other up or something, or prepare together by any chance. You know, it's different in campus. So, this was just totally unexpected, but it was a good experience, you can say.
yeah, and the atmospheres in the third year, it's like start learning coding and do it so well, and the expectations and the feedbacks what you hear from other, it's like you won't be able to crack any company. So it's
Yeah,
it's very hard, like just
yeah.
to hear that.
So, coming to that, I want you to tell us about the test and interview process for your company. Because what happens is people usually have the misconception, like you said, that if you're not very good at coding or something, you are not landing any company, basically. So, just tell
Yeah.
us in specific how it went and how did you answer also.
Mm, okay, so the process, it was for whole day. The company came in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, all of the students, we have a pre-qualifying round. I had chosen the SDET role, which is the testing role, and in that the company basically uses Python for coding. And so the test, which was on the platform, consisted of three Python questions. They were
Mm-hmm.
fairly basic questions, like what we learn as a beginner in Python. So,
Okay.
um, and as we see, there were more people applying for SDE role. So for SDET role, there were comparatively less people applying, and competition was little less there in our college.
Mm-hmm.
So that is also a thing. Then after clearing the first round, the company had a decided date, and on that date, they came in the morning. In the morning, they connected us like in pairs of three. It may be different for other group. In my group, there were three people,
Mm-hmm.
and so two were from, I don't remember, some college. Okay, so we all were given a similar task. It was to write use cases for a feature. So
Okay.
mine was like write use case of a chat application. Like what are the features which needs to be tested while you are while the developers have developed that software, what are the main things you will test for? So for
Hmm.
example, we can test if the chat is working, if you are getting the single take, double take, all of the use cases we had to write in a
Okay.
text file and send it to them.
Hmm.
So I think one from every group was shortlisted for the next round. I'm not sure
Okay.
about that, but I think that's how it went. So after that, we had a on-screen coding round where we had managers and mentors from the company. So
Hmm.
they were there, and I was given two questions in Python to code.
Hmm.
Uh, it was one was based on recursion, and
Hmm.
the other one was based on sorting. Like it was like sorting a dictionary, but not exactly
Okay.
sorting a dictionary. Yeah,
Hmm.
and it also involved talking about resume, what all projects I have done, uh, what I did it in my previous internship, and how my college journey has been. So the interviews were very friendly, and
Hmm.
they made me feel very comfortable, like to talk. And since this was my very first interview with the VIT, where before
Oh.
this, all the companies I applied to, they didn't shortlist all the
Oh.
electronic students. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
so yeah, I was like giving that for first time in the campus, and they made me feel very comfortable. And finally, we discussed, um, I would say, open source projects and uh, some of the projects which make an impact, which you made during your BTech. They make a good impact. What do you think?
Yeah, yeah. I think mentioning your best projects really helps. And especially the projects you know from like scratch.
Yeah,
Like you need to
exactly.
know like everything about it. So I think that helps a lot. So then coming to the next question, that is importance of internships and projects on the resume. I don't know why juniors ask this, but I think the whole interview process is dependent on these.
I would not say it is entirely dependent on these two things, but what else will you put in a resume apart from these things?
Yeah.
Resume is like what you have done, which gives interviewers a fair amount of idea who you are and what you have done. So if you don't mention your projects as a fresher, I don't see what else you will put in your resume. So it's very important to have good projects.
Hmm.
Also, you should there are cases where you have done your projects 2 years ago, so you should
Hmm.
fairly revise and be up to date on what you did, what technologies were used, and how exactly the project went.
Yeah.
So if there are any follow-up questions regarding your resume, you can answer them well.
Okay, makes sense. And regarding like the skills, now you yourself are from like electronics and communication background who applied for a software role basically, right?
Yeah.
So what kind of CS concepts you think are mandatory to go through, like just before the interview process while you're preparing? What did you go through as such? Like it's not possible to cover all the subjects that they have, right?
Yeah, I agree. So there are a lot of concepts. I think the basic ones such as networking, OS, DBMS, data structures, and a little bit revision of syntaxes. I tend to sometimes forget them. So I covered all that. There are few pages on Geeks for Geeks where you can, where there is a recap. The topic, like network, it has 10 questions, 10
Hmm.
main questions which are asked. OS similarly. So there is a page, and what you can do is in Geeks for many companies, there are companies archives, so which tells the interview experience of past candidates. So they have written a detailed blog on what was asked and how was it like. So I read their blogs, and I tried to understand what it might like be, because the process keeps on changing every year, but it will give you some idea what can be expected.
Yeah, so was there any aptitude section like verbal and logical reasoning part, like in your company process or any of the processes that you have given before?
Um, in my company, there wasn't any aptitude test.
Okay.
Before this, I had given one test, which was for society general, and in there, I think one round was aptitude.
Okay, so do you think it should be practiced well before the placement starts? Because in my case, like I gave a lot of company tests, so I think aptitude was really important.
Yeah, I think aptitude is really, really important, even if you are going for off-campus placements, because many companies will just screen on the basis of that before moving to the coding round because there are a lot of applicants, and you should like be fairly well in the practice. There are some online materials available and some YouTube videos too where you can learn how to like excel and save time in aptitude. So there are few tricks which will tell you how to solve this type of questions easier, like work time questions, how to
Yeah.
solve them fast. You can see videos on that. And basically, if you're I would say if your maths is a little bit good, then I think aptitude would be a little bit easier for you.
Right, right. And coming to my final question, any tips regarding making your resume or portfolio, for example, GitHub?
Yeah, so I had uh, in the third year I had made a website. uh,
Hmm.
I used a template. I put whatever I had done, and
Hmm.
then I hosted it on GitHub. After that, I learned about web hosting and domain names. So GitHub Education, if you link our college provides us a education email. If you link that education email to GitHub Education, then you basically get some benefits, and you get 3 free domain names from different websites. So I
Hmm.
got domain names from there for like 1 year validity, and I registered that GitHub same. First, I hosted it on Heroku. Then I changed the domain name to what I got from GitHub Education, and so that's like how I had a website of mine.
Hmm.
And I would say for resume, uh, it it basically depends what everyone is doing at that time. So during this time, what is happening is all of the people are going for simplistic resumes, like
Hmm.
just black and white. A few years
Okay.
ago, I saw it was more of colored thing and design and patterns.
Hmm.
Right now, they have reversed back to the minimalistic version,
Hmm.
where it's just like you can say a Word document which has education, your experience, your projects, achievements, like that, just listed under it. I used a Word and I made my resume in that. But
Okay.
you can use latex resumes that is present on Overleaf website. There is one very good resume with DEEDY. You can use that.
Okay, got it.
Yeah,
And do you think that, like, for example, now you said you applied for a testing role, right?
yeah.
And since companies keep on coming, there's another role, for example, some software development, or let's say a totally different role, some analyst role, for example. So, do you think it's required to tailor your resume according to the job description they have?
Yes, it's like very important that you change your resume according to the company specifications. I would just give you an example. If there is a X company and you have mentioned about it on your resume, and if you are applying for Y company, and if Y company is a competitor of X, and you show that you are fairly excelled in X's
Yeah,
products, then then I am sure your resume won't get shortlisted. So
right.
it's better if you just put some of the more relevant details according to the job details and what you are good at.
Great. So I think I'm done with the questions. Any final advice you would like to give the people who will be attending the placement process soon?
Yeah, first of all, I would like to say don't be that much tense. I know it will be a complicated and a hard process, but we should maintain our calm, and you have to believe in yourself that you will crack good companies.
Yeah, great. So, thank you, Garvit, for giving your time for this episode on the podcast. And I hope that your answers to the all the questions will help some or the other junior in this placement season.
Thank you, Bilwa, for hosting me. It was indeed a lovely session, and you had some very good questions there, and I think it will help a lot of people out there who are preparing for placement season.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Bilwa. Bye bye.